Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Hope you're all safe and well. I've got an unboxing to do, but before I do it, a few quick updates regarding the HS123. The push rod set has finally arrived. It's this. I don't need these long push rods because I've checked those out and they're all perfectly okay. The long push rods of course go through the fuselage and there's two for the elevator and one for the rudder. That gives you the grand total of 3, plus here there's a spare rod, but they also give you these tiny little ones, 2 for flaps, 2 for ailerons, and these are the ones I need because these pieces were really brittle on the actual model and they snapped. These ones I've tested. So I can take one out, and these actually go pretty well. They're quite flexible. So even though they've probably got a similar age, they're quite good. In fact, they might not even have a similar age because spares are produced throughout the life cycle of the aircraft. As far as I know, these could have been the last set of spares produced. But they're not aged, they're not yellowed, they're not brittle. So I'm replacing them on all of the moving surfaces. And these ends will be replaced on the rudder and elevators. So that's the HS123, that's coming along nicely. Then I've got these. Now these are Cockpits Canopies for the Trojan T28, 1100mm versions. This is for the Durafly one with the Sentinel Navy colours. This is for the Arrows Hobby one. And what I've done is, on this one, this came with a special hole cut out so you could put a small FPV camera. Well, I've amended that. I've blocked the hole up with foam, glued that in place. I've cut the foam, the actual canopy foam, down, and I don't know if you notice, it's at a slight angle, so I'm not picking up any of this floor on my camera. I've done a trial test by putting a camera in and recording, and I actually get all the instruments just above the bottom 2 red things down there, if you can see those, if it focuses for you. So those bottom 2 red labels, all the instruments above those 2 are in, plus obviously everything above. You can see how I've done it. I actually took this off. I didn't have to in the end because I could have cut this piece out by leaving this on. But I did, I took this off and I've cut that out, glued it back on. This one I've tried back in the fuselage, it fits perfectly. This is the spare cockpit, as that one is a spare cockpit. This is a spare cockpit I ordered for my Arrows Hobby, which in fact we all know is FMS. This wasn't designed for FPV, so you can see I didn't have to do anything under there. This is an old modification I had, so what I've done, I bought a new canopy, put that on my Arrows Hobby T28. This is the old canopy, which I've got epoxy all over the back of when I was repairing the aircraft after the crash. So what I've actually done, I've swapped them over, and this one became the spare, which I've cut out as well. That allows me access to the back. I've tested this out as well, not so much of an angle at all, in fact, it's almost level, but this goes on again. I don't get any floor. This one I've actually put back onto the Arrows T28, and believe it or not, it balances perfectly with the Runcam 2 sitting here. So there are the 2 cockpits. Next time I take the Arrows Hobby Trojan up, I will be recording from the cockpit. Okay, so the real point of this video is this. This is one of those moments again where I have to say I've actually got 2 of these already. One by Hobby King, one by FMS, and now this one. And this one is by who? Well, let's take a look. Let's get it out of this packaging box and see what we've got. Right, so it's a Corsair. This time it's the Arrows Hobby Corsair, which as we all know is made by FMS. 1100mm. This is the V2. Don't know what that means, but it's a V2. Let's take a look at the specs. So it comes with a realistic looking 4-blade prop, fantastic, it's a 4-blade prop. I love 3 4-blade props. The tanks are removable, the retracts pivot as they go into the wing. There are no wing covers but they pivot. Obviously got functional flaps. The other thing that it boasts is lights. Let's see what's inside this box. Okay, there we are. I'll put it to one side. We'll get the bits out and take a look. This is the prop it comes with. And here's the spare prop I've ordered. So we've got 2 props. Arrow's Hobby. This is of course an FMS made kit. It's got the specifications here again, but you've already seen them. Very low part count. Four bolts hold the wing in, a bit of glue in with some accessories, tanks slide on. Have to glue the horizontal stabilizer in place. Prop has a hub that you need to slot it into. They're showing an EC3 connector. It'll be interesting to see what it has. Here's your control throws, high-low rates. I always stick a medium in and there's plenty of range. High is 18mm up down for your elevator, low is 12. So there's a good gap between 18 and 12 where I can put a mid-rate in if I need it. And I tend to do that on all my aircraft. Centre of gravity. Clearly shown, 60mm from the wing's leading edge, and thankfully this has got a straight leading edge, so we shouldn't have any trouble getting the centre of gravity, or at least marking where it should be. You'll see how much weight we have to add. Yeah. Here's the goodie bag. How do we tell this is FMS? Well, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 wing bolts to hold the wing on. And a spare wing bolt. Classic sign that this is FMS. So we've got a white painted, I don't know what it is, it's not a spinner, is it? It's a prop nut. And it's got a brass threaded inlay. Got a plastic hub. I might have to buy another hub just to be safe. And that's it. And the rest of this stuff is, there's a couple of plastic bits and pieces that looks like you stick in aerials and things, pitot tubes, and that is it. That's all that's in there. Oh wow, wow. Oh, this is nice. This is nice. Let me just put that down there for a moment. So let's take a look at this. Whoa, this is nice. Yeah, great quality. It's painted, it's a blue. I think it's a royal blue. It's got little covers, little caps for the LEDs, and they look really smart. I mean, look at that compared to how Dynam do it. Lots of panel lines. This is a decal. It's an actual strip decal like that, so it's not an actual circle. This is something quite strange. It's a connector block. So everything's already connected up here. And what you do is take these leads and connect them to your receiver. And that's all you have to do. Everything else is wired together. It's like a junction box, multiple Y leads in there and stuff like that. Of course, if you want flaps to act independently, then, or ailerons to act independently, you're going to have to bypass this piece here. 4 screw holes. Let's take a look at this side. This is a sticker. Very nice compact foam. Look at the front of the wing. Here you've got again a cover with an LED glued in there. Very nice. These radiator grills, whether it's be for oil or air, I think they're oil coolers. I'll paint those black or silver or something. Yeah, very nice. Let's take a look at the underside. Again, the old stickers. I love what they've done here. Every single bit of wiring is covered with this royal blue tape. Having said that, I'm likely to add something contrasting to that, so I might paint the tanks white or silver. Tiny little push rods with the clevises, with the fuel tubing on there, holding them closed on the horns. Very nice. And these are Arrow 9-gram servos. Here's your retract. It looks a bit complicated. It's got this pin on it, and I think that makes it rotate. As it comes out, it rotates. These are slides for your tanks, and it's duplicated on the other side of the wing. Tape everywhere to cover up all the wiring, except here. It's interesting, except here on the undercarriage. I don't have any. Don't know why they left those out. Yeah, nice solid wing. Very nice wing. Love it. So here are your tanks. I don't know if they're drop tanks or not, but they're tanks. They look so much like submarines every time I look at these. Hunter Killer, that one. I'm going to paint them. I might fly with them off, because they do cause a bit of drag, I've been told. So I might leave them. We shall see when we do the build. They're just 2 nice foam moulded tanks with this slide-on mechanism. Now, unfortunately for this one, I can't say no gluing, just screwing, because there is a bit of gluing, and it's for these, for the horizontal stabilizers. You clear this paint away, and here, and they actually go together like that inside the fuselage, and they get glued with a bit of foam tack, but it's a really straightforward, easy job. Horns already connected. Lovely hinges. FMS always have made great hinges. All foam, of course, but they're super. Yep. Just a quick recap going back to this. Obviously you've got your ailerons, but you've also got a flap. Now on the actual Corsair, all 3 of these act as flaps. But on this model, it's only this section that acts as a flap. Now, I have seen people hinge this and have a rod joining it, so as this drops down, these all drop down. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I've also seen people stuff a servo in here to drive these 2. But I'm going to try it as it is before I make any changes on it. Oh wow, that is nice. Super. This is like a brown. I thought it was red, but it's brown. There's white cowling. And this cowling is painted up to there. But this piece, the cowl flaps, are in fact just plain foam. There's your fake radial engine. Doesn't look too bad. And there's your motor. In fact, this looks dead centre. It doesn't look as though it's offset. Lovely motor. It's quite a good firm plastic. It's not a brittle or a thin plastic sheet. It's quite substantial. Yeah. Well, this has already got rivets on it. So I will continue using that spacing and add the rest where they need to go. Let's take a look down the fuselage. Nice fuselage down there. Everything looks good. Looks like we've got dual elevator push rods. And we've got the rudder coming up here on the fuselage. Looks a bit strange, but I'm sure it's perfectly okay. Yeah, so this, you just have to strip the paint out of here to fit the elevator. It's got a arrestor hook, but that feels as though it's glued in place. Bit of detail there. Let me just turn this around, it's easier this way. Bit of detail here. An arrestor hook, there's your wheel. It doesn't retract, it's set. I'll take a look inside and we'll see if that's got its own push rod or not. Outlets, take the heat away. Wing saddle, pretty good, pretty good. Brass inlays, lovely and smooth. Yeah, that's good. Should have to take the top off. Wow, big hole in there to get your wiring out of the wing. Rudder has two push rods. One of them is really close to the end of this quick connect. Don't like that too much. And your two elevators are here. And they are in sleeves, so they're not just metal rods, they've actually got sleeves glued into the foam, which they slide through. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Little plastic tray here for the servos. Ooh, it's interesting. Look at this. It's an XT60, it's not an EC3. Brilliant. It's your throttle. And then in here, you have a tray. See the tray? Now, I've never really been keen on trays. Your speed controller is tucked away in here. And it's tucked away. I mean, there's a bulkhead with just the wires going through. Let's see if I can get that on camera. You can't see the speed controller. All you've got is a little square cut in a bulkhead. The cables just go straight through into here. This might be part of the old version 2 stuff. I hate these trays actually. I said I don't like them, I actually hate them. So there's a battery tray. It's designed to take a 3S 2200, and then you have to very gently slide that in until it locks. And with luck, that should get the centre of gravity correct. I have been told if you take the tray out, you can put a 3000 3S standing upright pushed in, and then just use a bit of foam to pack it in. But we'll try that later. And first of all, I will be using the standard battery that it's made for. I've got a few holes here, but they are for plastic aerials to be glued in. Not a bad looking pilot. I'm pretty sure they didn't have this type of microphone set up. They had throat mics, didn't they? But he's looks okay. Got his yellow vest on there. Yeah. And we've got some instrumentation as well. Held on by a magnet. Again, this is definitely a V2 feature, because on the V1 I've seen the magnets aren't there and it's some sort of clip which used to go here. It used to be a white plastic clip, V-shaped clip, where this used to clip into. Well, now they've replaced that. You just got a nice magnetic snap holding that in place. So that's definitely a V2 feature. But yeah, that's really nice. And there it is, the 1100mm Arrows F4U-4 version 2, retailed by Arrows Hobby, built by FMS. You can't beat their quality. It's not new by a long shot. It's been around for quite a few years in the V1 and V2 guises. Great. So thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you all on another video. Cheers.